The Gina and Matty podcast.
There are a few people heading in certain directions this morning, and that would be to the kitchen to pack some lunch boxes.
Oh, yeah.
To the laundry to find some grey shorts that might not have been washed since December.
Yeah, or to the shops last minute.
Last minute dash, or doing some food orders at a canteen. It is back to school week this week. My youngest goes to school tomorrow for first time. She's starting kindy. And I thought, you know what, it's only fair to speak to the only person who knows the most about parenting, and that is the author of Little People, Big Feelings, co-host of Beyond the Chaos podcast, the runner of the Connected Parenting AU Instagram page. It is the one and only Gen Muir. Morning, Jen.
Morning, guys. You do the best intros.
Oh, we love you. We love having you on the show, Jen.
My boss would probably say that I've used up all the time we have, so we need to wrap it up with your intro, Jen. But that's how qualified you are. I haven't even got into all of your degrees and stuff, Jen. I'm just doing top line stuff.
We can't. We got to help the parents.
Got to help the parents.
It's an emergency call today, really, because lots of parents listening going, oh, help, Jen, what do we do?
100%, and as much as we can prepare absolutely for the transition back to school or into school for the first time, the thing that we almost never feel prepared for is those after-school meltdowns. It's when, despite our best laid plans and even a beautiful drop-off on the first day, our little angel of a child comes home and they are fighting with siblings, they're falling apart, sometimes within 30 seconds of getting out of the gate, and parents are thinking, what? What is going on? So I know that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing they've been on, they've been sitting, they've been listening, they've had to line up, everything that they hate doing.
Yeah.
And it's all just little bits and pieces that are adding up to it, and then they get to that safe place, I guess, at home, and then it just explodes, Jen.
It sure does. It's all of that. The school environment takes a lot out of our kids, and it takes a lot out of some of our kids more than others.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, for our kids, we are that safe base. So what happens is they hold it together all day when they're not in an environment where there is someone safe enough to let it all out with, and the minute they see us, it comes out with us. It can feel really confusing because parents sometimes think, why is my child amazing for other people and then horrible to me? But actually it's a huge compliment, because what your child is saying is, I need to get this out. I need to kind of just shake it off and kind of get it all out. And often the best way through it is just to accept that it is going to happen, especially when kids are adjusting to new changes. I've got a couple of kids starting new things this year as well. And what I find is that it can go really well because we put a lot of effort into it, but they're exhausted, their emotional cup is just at the top, and so the slightest little thing just tips them over into those meltdowns.
The one thing that I think I've in the last few years learned, I've got a 9-year-old, so someone starting year 5, someone starting in year 2, and then someone starting kindergarten, is especially in these first term, is just to maybe not do too many after-school activities.
100%. So the number one tip in terms of preventing this stuff is absolutely to do a bit less. Even if you kind of, even obviously swimming lessons so important for every Australian kid, but if we're in term 1 and we've just started kindy, maybe we just skip a few of those or we pull out even for a term, just to have one less thing on the agenda. There is nothing better to a child that we pick them up. We're so excited to see them. We want to pepper them with a million questions. Sometimes if we go in too quickly with too many questions, how was your day? Who'd you play with? Did you find any friends? Did you eat your lunch? Our child will just explode. So my absolute tips for picking your child up who is a bit fractious at the end of the day, number 1, feed them before you do anything else. Just make sure there is food accessible, because they get really hungry. They've often forgotten to eat. So we want to get those blood sugars sorted before we even try to ask a question. Then we want to allow a bit of space. There's nothing more relieving to a child that's had a long day than a parent who just says, looks like you've had a really long day. Guess what? We've got no plans. What a relief after a really big day.
Maybe just go to the park or have a swim in the pool.
Totally, or just, let them chill and get that uniform off.
Even as
feed them a snack.
Adult, I love it when someone says to me, we're cancelling the plans.
Oh, I love that.
So that's music to my ears. I was like, oh, you mean I don't have to go? Oh, so good.
And Jen, what about with the older kids come home? This is what I went through with our son Jackie. How's your day? Good. What you do? Nothing. Did you play with any friends? Yep. How do you get them talking, when they've got that one answer? And our son Jackie had the one answer thing right through till the end of school pretty much.
Oh, yeah, look, I've got 4 boys. 3, it is like drawing blood from a stone. One of them, my youngest, he just tells you every detail. The minute, I can't believe it. It's like living with a different person. So I relate, absolutely. One of my kids who's the hardest to get information out of, he started a new school this year, and I have really planned my pickup so that I would get a bit of detail. And here's what I did. I sort of met him at the bus, made sure there was no questions. I said, I'm not going to ask you anything. I'm just happy to see you. Got him home, fed him a biscuit, really took my time, let him decompress, waited till he was calm and collected. And then what I did was I said this, I'd love to know a high, a low and a buffalo, like a high of your day, a low of your day and something you want me to know. And
Love that.
first it was like, yeah, so you're asking something a bit more specific. Or you go, what's something that happened today that was funny? And he told me this hilarious story about what his teacher said as he walked in the door to make them all laugh. And once he'd told that one story, the rest came out. But it really was about an hour after he'd gotten home. It was coming up close to him, putting my arm around him and kind of, my other hot tip, if your child is into a specific topic, ask them about their favourite topic before you ask them about school. So I might say to one of my boys, which Pokemon do you think has the best powers, And they will just rabbit on about that special interest topic. And then you go, and how is school? You just pack it in there.
Very
but it's
tricky.
really for kids, if we connect first, they're much more likely to release those details.
Love that, Jen. Thank you so much. I know there's a lot of people across the coast this morning and this week, especially the new parents who are experiencing school for the first time and the drop-offs who will be loving everything that they're hearing. You can get more from Jen on Connected Parenting AU on Instagram, and make sure you do check out the podcast Beyond the Chaos as well. Jen, one last little thing that we took advice from you last year with Ziggy. We were having a bit of trouble with him at drop-off, and we've implemented it this year with Stevie. She starts tomorrow, kindy. We've got a little toy that she's going to take. It's a little squishy, and Bella's keeping the very same little squishy. And it's the thing that if you ever miss mum or dad, give the little squishy a squish, and then mum will be able to feel it. And then she'll squish it back. And that was your advice for us last year, and it worked an absolute treat. So we are doing it again, Jen. So thank you
I'm
so much.
I'm so happy to hear that. We used a little felt heart in my son's pocket when he started kindy, and it made such a huge difference. And those transitional objects seem to be just the little thing that helps our kids feel a little bit connected to mum or dad, and it makes a huge difference. I'm so glad to hear that.
Love
Jen, right before you go, quick piece of advice for Maddie, who's probably going to be in tears tomorrow when his baby goes to school for the first time.
Ugly crying, snotty, and
Quick parent advice for him.
Embrace the tears. It's a huge milestone, but I tell you, once that last child is in school, I do think you hit a new era for your family. You're out of the trenches, and it is kind of a beautiful time watching your kids start to really hit that next stage in their journeys, and lots to enjoy ahead. But enjoy those tears.
I will.
Celebrate yourself.
I just remind myself there's no more daycare fees. That's the thing that'll make me happy again. Jen, have a great day.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Jen.
Gina and Maddie.
This woman got arrested after accidentally texting a sheriff instead of her drug dealer. Honestly. It was in America, of course.
Year round? Yeah, why? Just after some stuff?
So she said,
What sort of stuff?
well, she wanted some fentanyl.
Oh, God.
So before she thought she was texting a drug dealer, but she accidentally texted the sheriff. And then obviously he played along, and they set up a meeting. And
A sting.
Yeah, he was like, this is gold. This is gold. It sounds like a TV show. So instead, she thought she was going to the drug dealer to pick up her drugs, and she met with authorities. She was arrested with unlawful use of a two-way communication device. What? Possession of drugs, obviously, and driving with a suspended licence. She has had a nice photo taken, though.
The mugshot looks like she might have got a hand on some of the fentanyl. Texting the wrong person, like texting a cop when you think it's your drug dealer.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets too much worse than that.
That's probably up the top. Have you ever texted anybody accidentally?
I don't think I have. I think WhatsApp groups is the one that I get caught out in a little bit, because I'll be chatting in one group and then I'll go to another one, and then there'll be the side group from that WhatsApp group. So then you go to the side group that doesn't have everyone that's in that original WhatsApp group and go, oh, how's about what they just said? And then everyone's having a laugh there. Then you go back to the original one, and then you go, ah! I sent the wrong one into the wrong one.
Your heart goes like this, right?
And because you can slide right and see who's seen it and who hasn't seen it, then you see the wrong person seen it. And it doesn't matter how quickly you delete it. You're like, oh.
I do it with emails. I'll accidentally, like, responding to someone, respond and do reply all and saying something that and then your heart stops and I go back. I'm looking for sent. And did I send it to the wrong person? And I have on a few occasions.
We asked on Facebook and Insta on Gina and Matty.
We did. We got someone sent a screenshot to their chat that they'd taken in a chat by mistake. And so do you at that point, if you've done that and they get in touch with you, are you going to make up a lie? Like you're going to say, oh.
So what happened? What happened?
Well, they took a screenshot of a chat and sent it to the person who was on that chat by mistake.
Oh, ragging on what they'd said.
Yeah.
You would have to lie.
You'd have to make up a lie and go,
Be so sorry, I accidentally screenshotted and I was meant to send you another picture, but accidentally.
Or something. You'd have to come up with something, wouldn't you? I don't know.
That would not work.
That's panic mode.
Yeah.
I told you I told you about my husband's cousin.
I'm interested in how you're going to tell this one on the radio.
In an email, she was saying to her new boyfriend how much she liked some of the stuff they'd been doing in very, very detail. Very graphic detail.
Like extracurricular activities.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, hot air ballooning.
Everything.
Right.
Yes. Everything you can think of, everything kind of a bit shocking as well. And accidentally sent to all on her, you know how you can do reply all, but everyone on your entire.
All contacts.
Nana got it, Rod got it, all the cousins got it, all the uncles and aunties got it. And it was about the
bedroom activities.
The bedroom activities. That was super embarrassing.
Wow. But who would you be, anyway, there's a lot to unpack with that anyway. It's like, who are you going to tell just themselves that? Why? Who are you sharing that with?
Well, she was just trying to write it to her new boyfriend.
Oh, just to him?
She was just trying to tell him how much.
I love it when you do this.
Yes.
Right.
And she accidentally did reply all.
Guess what, Nan? I love it when he does this to me.
That's right.
Yeah,
and Nan probably hadn't even heard of some of that stuff.
That would have made bingo a very interesting place to be.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.